The Galactic Confederation monitoring station orbiting Velos detected something unusual. Officer Taeyeon stared at his screen, his 3 fingers hovering nervously over the alert button. "Captain Suman," he called out, "I'm picking up an unknown ship coming from Sector 7. Captain Suman moved quickly across the command center. Her long cape flowed behind her as she walked. After 200 cycles serving the Confederation, she had never seen an unregistered vessel in this part of space. "What's it made of?" she asked, leaning over Taeyeon's station. "I can't tell," he replied. "The materials aren't in our database. Their engines are using some kind of compression technology we've never seen before." The ship continued its approach, maintaining a steady course toward Confederation space. Captain Suman sent an urgent message to headquarters. Within hours, the Confederation Council decided to send their best diplomat. Ambassador Dongwu prepared for first contact aboard the diplomatic vessel Harmony *. As they drew closer to the mystery ship, an odd feeling spread through the crew. It wasn't fear exactly, but a strange sense of unease. "Open communications," Dongwu ordered. The screen flickered to life, revealing beings that looked somewhat similar to the Confederation's own form, but with striking differences. They had only 2 arms instead of 3, and their skin lacked the typical blue sheen of evolved species. "I am Ambassador Dongwu of the Galactic Confederation. We welcome you to our space." The alien captain introduced himself as Lee from a planet called Earth. He was shorter than the Confederation representatives, but stood with unusual confidence. "We seek peaceful relations," Captain Lee said through his translator. "We are explorers from Earth, traveling to learn about our galactic neighbors." Dongwu performed the ritual greeting, extending all 3 arms in the traditional peace gesture. "The Confederation welcomes new species to join our collective wisdom. We have guided many young civilizations toward proper development." The meeting continued smoothly at first. The humans shared information about their planet and asked questions about Confederation species. Everything seemed to be going well until Captain Lee brought up colonization. "We've identified several promising planets in this region," Lee said. "We hope to establish peaceful settlements." Dongwu smiled patiently. "New species must first complete a probationary period under Confederation guidance before independent colonization. It's for everyone's safety and proper development." Something changed in Lee's expression. His smile remained, but his eyes grew cold. "We appreciate your hospitality," Lee said carefully. "But humans chart their own course. We've traveled too far to be treated like children." Dongwu was shocked by this response. In his long career, no new species had ever questioned the Confederation's wisdom so directly. "Perhaps I haven't explained clearly," Dongwu said. "The Confederation has existed for 50,000 years. Our protocols ensure harmony throughout the galaxy. And we respect your history," Lee replied. "But Earth has its own ways. We're willing to trade and establish diplomatic relations as equals, not as subjects." The meeting grew tense. The human delegation refused to accept the standard terms all new species signed upon first contact. When Dongwu explained that no exceptions could be made, the humans abruptly announced they were leaving. "We'll return to Earth with news of our meeting," Captain Lee said. "Our government will decide how to proceed." The humans departed without the traditional farewell ceremony, breaking yet another protocol. Dongwu watched their ship disappear into the darkness of space. "Primitives," he muttered to his aide. "They'll learn our ways eventually." They all do. But something about these humans bothered him. Most species were awed by the Confederation's technology and eagerly accepted guidance. These humans showed no such reverence. Back on the monitoring station, Captain Suman reviewed Dongwu's report with concern. "Track their departure vector," she ordered Taeyeon. "I want to know where they're going." Silence fell over the Confederation bridge. Sensor readings confirmed what they feared. The transport, named *Pioneer*, had been destroyed with all 47 humans aboard. "It was an accident," Sunwoo said quietly. "Their systems shouldn't have reacted that way." The patrol returned to headquarters, where the council received the news with concern. They quickly drafted a message expressing regret for the unfortunate incident, while reiterating their demand for compliance with territorial regulations. The message was sent through all known human communication channels. Days passed, then weeks. The mining colony on Kepler-7 continued operations, now with increased defensive measures. No response came from Earth. In the council chamber, Intelligence Officer Minjay updated his risk assessment. Human military vessels are on the move, he reported. They appear to be conducting exercises near our borders. Elder Hyunwoo frowned. Monitor the situation. They will calm down eventually. All species must learn their place in the natural order. But deep in his heart, Minjay wasn't so sure. The silence from Earth felt not like submission, but like preparation. Alarms screamed through Confederation Defense Headquarters. The sound echoed down every corridor, bringing officers running to their stations. Commander Juwoo had been reviewing reports when the noise erupted. He dropped his datapad and sprinted toward the command center. Officer Taehyun stood at the main monitoring station, his face pale. 3 other officers crowded around him, staring at the display with wide eyes. "Report," Juwoo demanded as he entered. Taehyun looked up, his hands trembling slightly. "A vessel has entered Confederation space near the Kepler sector. It crossed our border 5 minutes ago." "Another human ship?" Juwoo asked, moving to the main display. "Yes, sir. But this one is different," Taehyun replied. "It's broadcasting on all frequencies, across all channels." Juwoo frowned and activated the communication panel. Immediately, a simple message played in perfect galactic common. "Warning. Human warship APPROACJing. Clear all vessels from transit QRI door." The message repeated continuously, its mechanical delivery somehow more unsettling than if it had been shouted. Juwoo stared at the screen, then laughed sharply. "A single ship sends this warning. As if the entire Confederation should make way." He shook his head. "Scan its capabilities." Taehyun's fingers moved across his control panel. After a moment, he looked up with confusion. The vessel identifies itself as *Retribution*. It's, "Sir, our scanners can't penetrate their shielding." "That's impossible," Juwoo snapped. "Nothing can block our quantum scanners. Check the equipment." "I've run 3 diagnostic checks," Taehyun said. "The scanners are functioning perfectly. Whatever technology they're using, it's blocking our scans completely." The room fell silent except for the continuing broadcast. Juwoo paced across the command center, his mind racing. The humans were an upstart species, barely space-capable by Confederation standards. How could they possess technology that defied the most advanced scanning systems in the galaxy? "Sir," called the communications officer, "the human vessel is hailing us directly." Juwoo nodded. "Put it on screen." The wall display flickered, and a human face appeared. The man wore a dark uniform covered with symbols of rank. His expression was calm but cold. "This is Admiral Dohyun of the Earth Defense Force vessel *Retribution*, he stated without greeting. "We demand justice for the unprovoked destruction of the Pioneer and its crew. You have 6 hours to present those responsible to stand trial under neutral arbitration." Juwoo stared at the human, stunned by his audacity. "This is Commander Juwoo of the Galactic Confederation. You have illegally entered our sovereign space. Your mining colony violated our territorial rights. The incident with your transport was unfortunate but occurred during lawful enforcement of our boundaries." Admiral Dohyun's expression didn't change. "6 hours, Commander. After that, we will administer justice ourselves." Juwoo felt his temper rising. "You threaten the Confederation with a single ship. Do you understand what you're facing?" "Perfectly," Dohyun replied. "Do you?" Juwoo cut the transmission with an angry gesture. The command center erupted with voices as officers called for different responses. "Silence," Juwoo shouted. When quiet returned, he turned to his tactical officer. Assemble the third fleet. 30 ships should be sufficient to escort this presumptuous vessel away. Sir, Taehyun said quietly, perhaps we should consider their demand. If we can't scan their ship. Officer, Juwoo interrupted. I've dealt with a dozen emerging species in my career. They all test boundaries. They all make threats. When faced with superior numbers, they all back down. He straightened his uniform. The humans lost a ship because they refused to follow our rules. Now they send one warship as if it could challenge the might of a fleet that has protected this sector for millennia. Across the command center, officers rushed to carry out Juwoo's orders. Within minutes, the third fleet was mobilizing, ships breaking orbit from various Confederation worlds. In the quiet of his office, Intelligence Officer Minja reviewed what little data they had on the human vessel. Its size suggested moderate capabilities, but its power signature was unlike anything he'd seen before. And that name, *Retribution*, suggested a purpose built specifically for this mission. Minji drafted an urgent message to Commander Juwoo, recommending caution and perhaps even consideration of the human demands. Before he could send it, the general alert sounded again. All officers report to stations, the automated system announced. Third Fleet has made contact with human vessel. Countdown to intercept, 17 minutes. Minjae hurried back to the command center. On the main display, he watched the Confederation fleet form a perfect crescent formation. Surrounding the lone human ship, the *Retribution* continued on its course, undeterred by the overwhelming force before it. They're not slowing down, someone whispered. They will, Commander Juwoo said confidently. They all do. But somewhere deep inside, Minjae wondered if these humans might be different, if the Confederation had finally met a species that didn't know when to back down. The Confederation Third Fleet moved into position, 30 warships forming a perfect crescent formation. This battle arrangement had served them well for thousands of years, allowing maximum firepower while protecting vulnerable flanks. Fleet Commander Kyung-soo stood on the bridge of the flagship Eternal Dominance watching the tactical display with confidence. The human vessel continues its approach, reported his tactical officer. No change in speed or direction. They're either brave or foolish, Kyung-soo remarked. Probably both. The lone human ship, *Retribution*, looked almost small against the backdrop of space. The Confederation warships surrounding it were each 3 times its size, bristling with weapon ports and protected by the most advanced shielding technology in the galaxy. Open communications, Kyung-soo ordered. A moment later, Admiral Doyen's face appeared on screen. The human looked calm, almost detached, as if he were discussing the weather rather than facing overwhelming odds. This is your final opportunity to comply peacefully, Doyen stated. Surrender those responsible for the destruction of the Pioneer or face the consequences. Kyung-soo almost laughed. The human's confidence was absurd. He responded with the ritual challenge that had been used in Confederation military encounters for millennia. The Confederation does not negotiate with aggressors. Surrender your vessel or face consequences. Admiral Doyen nodded slightly. Very well. The screen went dark. For several moments, nothing happened. The *Retribution* continued its steady approach toward the center of the Confederation formation. Kyung-soo waited, fingers drumming on the arm of his command chair. On the sensor station, Officer Jinwoo suddenly jerked upright. Commander, I'm detecting an energy spike from the human vessel. Weapons? Kyung-soo asked, leaning forward. Unknown, Jinwoo replied. It's not matching any weapon signature in our database. Kyung-soo started to issue orders, but before he could speak, something strange happened. 6 Confederation ships on the left flank of the formation suddenly went dark. Their lights flickered out, and they began drifting, completely powerless. What happened? Kyung-soo demanded, standing up from his chair. Unknown, sir, the science officer reported, frantically checking readings. Some kind of directed electromagnetic pulse, but far more sophisticated than anything we've encountered. Their power cores are completely disabled, but there was no visible weapon discharge. Kyung-soo stared at the tactical display in disbelief. 6 advanced warships neutralized in seconds, without the human vessel firing a single visible shot. All ships, evasive pattern Delta, he ordered. Focus energy weapons on target. The remaining Confederation ships broke formation, trying to surround the * Retribution * from multiple angles. Before they could complete the maneuver, 3 more ships went dark, drifting helplessly. "It's targeting our power systems directly," the science officer said, voice rising with alarm. "But I can't detect how it's penetrating our shields." The Confederation fleet finally managed to coordinate their attack. 20 warships fired simultaneously, energy beams converging on the human vessel. For a moment, the * Retribution * disappeared in a blaze of light. When the glare faded, it remained untouched, shields glowing slightly but fully intact. "Impossible," Kyung-soo whispered. Then the human ship moved. It accelerated with a speed that defied the laws of physics as the Confederation understood them, positioning itself behind their formation. Before the Confederation ships could turn, 5 more went dark. "They're picking us apart," Jinwoo said, the color draining from his face. Kyung-soo had never faced a situation like this. His training had never prepared him for an enemy that could neutralize Confederation technology so easily. "All ships, fall back to defensive position," he ordered. "Maintain distance and—" His words cut off as the lights on his own flagship flickered and died. Emergency power activated, casting the bridge in an eerie red glow. "Main power offline," reported his engineer. "Weapons offline. Shields offline. We're defenseless." "Sir." Outside, through the viewport, Kyung-soo watched as one by one, his remaining ships suffered the same fate. Some drifted powerless, while others experienced more catastrophic failures, their hulls breaching as life support systems failed. As the battle entered its second hour, the Eternal Dominance received a fragmented communication from Confederation headquarters. The message came through the emergency backup systems, broken and distorted. Human warships, appearing in every major system. Simultaneous attack. Defenses failing. Kyung-soo stared at the * Retribution *, now floating calmly amid the disabled Confederation fleet. Not a single human ship had been damaged. Not a single Confederation weapon had been effective. For the first time in his long career, Kyung-soo felt true fear. The Confederation had ruled space unchallenged for 50,000 years. Now, in a single day, everything had changed. The communication system crackled again. Admiral Do-yeon's voice came through clearly despite their damaged systems. "Your fleet is disabled. Your defenses have failed. We await your surrender." The Great Council chamber had never been so quiet. The huge round room usually buzzed with conversation, but today 50 different alien species sat in stunned silence. They watched as humans walked into the chamber and took seats at the main table for the first time. Just 1 week ago, the Confederation fleet had been defeated by a single human warship. Then human vessels appeared in every major system across Confederation space. The mighty Confederation, which had ruled the galaxy for 50,000 years, surrendered after just 3 days of fighting. Ambassador Ji-hoon of Earth sat down calmly. His simple black uniform stood out among the colorful ceremonial robes of the Confederation leaders. He placed his hands on the ancient council table and looked directly at Elder Hyunwoo. "The Confederation has ruled through technological superiority for too long," Ji-hoon said clearly. "That era has ended today." Elder Hyunwoo's hands trembled as he adjusted his ceremonial collar. For 2,000 years, he had led the council with absolute confidence. Now he looked old and uncertain. "We have existed in peace for 50 millennia," Hyunwoo said, his voice shaking slightly. "Peace for you," Ji-hoon replied. "Subjugation for others. We've spoken with the frontier species you've classified as protectorates. They tell a different story." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Many of the smaller species, those who had been forced to accept Confederation guidance for centuries, nodded in agreement. Ji-hoon opened a data tablet and displayed the new terms. They were not suggestions. They were not open for debate. They were the new reality. The Confederation would continue to exist, but as a true democratic body where all species held equal representation. Human warships would remain stationed throughout former Confederation space as peacekeepers. All species would have the right to develop their own colonies without oversight. This is the end of empire, Ji-hoon said, and the beginning of partnership.